Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
All of our participants systems, and he is a commerce graduate from Mumbai University. Till 1992, he was in the family business and computer consultancy. So his graphology operations began in 1992. Graphology, in a nutshell, is loosely described as handwriting analysis. Graphology is also now Devendra and his company's structured systems sole business. Handwriting analysis clients include colleges and other institutes for workshops, individuals for career guidance, counseling, and personality development. Also, they include corporates for guidance during recruitment and government. Lastly, they also include financial institutions and non-government organizations for fraud detection. So I think this will be a very interesting session because it's all about handwriting analysis, and some of our participants have already done this course previously. So I'm
That's
sure
good.
they'll be very interested in this. Over to you, sir.
Okay. So English alphabet consists of how many letters?
Yeah, I think we've muted the participants so they can't speak. But yes, 26 alphabets. I'll answer for them.
We have 26 alphabets capital, 26 alphabets small. Okay. So in short, we have around 52 alphabets. So using a combination of these alphabets, I can form words. Now, when I'm saying I can form words, I'm giving a word called happy to be written by 4 people. So happy is a 5-letter word. Each person will write in a different font or a different style. So in short, we have what? 5 into 4. 4 people have been told to write this. So 20 combinations. But actually in handwriting analysis, there are more than 4.5 lakh combinations. So when we start off with, how do you start writing? We come to that first stage. You have some thoughts which are coming into your mind. The mind is instructing the hand to execute the art of writing. So what you see on a piece of paper is what your mind is showing you. So it's basically also connected to mind mapping or brain mapping. Okay, then we come to where I can use this particular science. This science has a varied use. I can use it for, the teachers can use it to detect the cooperative child, to detect whether the person is having leadership qualities. The businessman can use this when they recruit people to find out is honesty, integrity. When we talk about the police department can use it to keep a track on criminals through the criminal aspects of the writing. Then we come to doctors. Many times you have seen people go to a doctor and they don't like to discuss certain personal things, or they are hesitant to discuss. So once the doctor sees the writing of a patient, he can find out what is actually there. So doctors can also use it. Parents can use it to check whether the child is progressing well, he is emotionally disturbed, or he is developing suicidal tendencies. Even as an individual, you can use it for finding your strength, finding your weaknesses. So this is a brief of where this particular science can be used. Now we come down to certain aspects of a writing.
Sir, if I may interrupt, will you be sharing a screen with us?
Yeah, I'm just sharing whiteboard.
All right, perfect.
Oh.
Yes.
When a paper comes to us, suppose this is a paper, what is the first thing we see in the writing is how much space the person has left as far as the margins are concerned. Both sides, the left side and the right side. If I place a ruler below the line, whether the writing is going straight or it progresses upwards as it goes, or it goes down as it progresses. y'all may remember that we used to use a protractor in our school days that was used for checking the angle or the degree. So whether the writing is below 90 degrees, whether the writing is 90 degrees or ahead of 90 degrees. Then we come down to checking what? Whether the alphabets are always connected, sometimes connected, never connected. Then we check out the top of letters. These are the top of letters. So this is a step-by-step process of actually going and reading a particular writing. Can we have a break for 2 minutes so that if they have any questions up till now, then I can take it forward?
Would you like them to ask you questions midway, sir? Should I unmute
Yeah,
them
no
all?
problem. If they want, up till now, they have any queries, any questions, then I can take it forward because I'll be taking certain alphabet straight away.
All right. If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourselves and ask sir right now. Or would you like him to proceed ahead? No need to type in the chat box. You could just ask. All right. I'm leaving you guys on unmute. If at some point you feel you would like to interrupt, sir, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you see over here, what I've written is I have made written a 4-letter alphabet, nice word, and a sentence. And then I've given a visual over here. Now assume this is an office. Here Mr. A is sitting, Mr. B is sitting, and there is a gap over here. Okay. So what is happening is C is entering this office. He is proceeding to take this place, occupy this place which is empty. But what B is doing is B is putting his hand extended and not allowing C to enter that place. The reason is C is B is having a fear factor as far as C coming and occupying his position, or B has a hidden fear. Now apply the same thing. Can you see this part? The extension of these parts. These are part of fear factor. A person who is having a fear factor as far as his hidden fears are concerned, or we talk about students who have a exam fear. So I have to remove this fear. What I'll be doing is I'll be cutting down the extension of this. This way I'll be able to make the changes. Okay. I had shown you something called top of letters. Now, in the first case, we are seeing what Henry has been written. There are top of the letters are sharp and pointed. Okay. More the sharpness, more the pointed, more the aggressive and fussy person. More the roundings, more the roundings, more the sensitive and touchy person or emotional person. Now, there is another visual I am giving. Here we are seeing a stool. There is a person sitting over there on the stool. You have some people sitting at the bottom. So in short, what is he doing is he is sitting at a higher platform. Okay. So that means what? He could be a leader or having leadership qualities. If you want to increase your leadership qualities, the T dash should be brought over here. The second stroke of the R should be short. Now I can show you a visual to this. What is the person doing? The person is climbing stairs. Okay. Another aspect which is there currently is we have been given, a lot of people are given work from home, correct? Now we talk about work from home. Generally what has been given, okay, within a week you have to finish certain part. Suppose we assume, okay, fine, this was given on a Monday and it was supposed to be ready by Sunday evening. And today it is Sunday morning. I have still not started the work. In short, what I have done, I procrastinated the thing. I dot to the left, T dash to the left is an indication of procrastinations. So if I have to remove the procrastinations, I shift the dot either to the right or exactly above and the dash to the right. Okay. Now, since you're a psychology students, you might see certain type of writings at times like this, filled up. Now, when we talk about fill up writings, especially in the lower zones, now these are people who are addicted to either drugs or alcohol. And in the normal case, suppose you see shakiness in the writing, normal shakiness, not the fill up. Now, these normal shakiness is connected to a person who is emotionally disturbed.
So while you're drawing that, sir, there's a question that's come up.
Sure, sure.
In childhood, it's been taught to students from lower KG that the dash and the letter T comes in the middle and not at top. And
Correct.
also R has, as you said, the stroke is supposed to be short like climbing stairs, but that's not how they were taught.
So what happens is as you progress,
Hmm.
that is once you start off what you were told, everyone was taught cursive language, cursive writing in the
That's
school days.
Mhm.
So by the time you reach the standard 9th or 10th, automatically your writing changes
That's true.
and you imbibe your characters which are there within you, that is reflected on the writing.
Okay.
Again, when I say making a change in an alphabet, when I say making a change in an alphabet, when we started off in our school days, initially, we were taught like this. Okay, every day we used to sit down and there was a book wherein we used to overwrite on that book,
Yes, yes.
making that alphabet again.
True.
Okay, so over and over a period of time, like from lower kg, when we shifted to higher kg, we were able to actually make a proper A, alphabet A.
Hmm.
Okay, so in
Hmm.
short, the brain registered that particular signal. So when
Hmm.
I'm asking to make a particular changes in an alphabet,
Hmm.
I'm trying to send a signal back to the brain.
Okay.
So over a period of time, that particular signal will get registered.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now these two formats, why you can see this is a mirror image of Y. Now when I'm using this particular hunch on the left, this is an indication of a person who is trying to avoid responsibilities. Now this responsibility could also be financial responsibilities. Students should be beware of these things. People, the alphabet O open at the bottoms, the alphabet B open on the left, the alphabet D open at the tops and sides. These particular people cannot be trusted as far as money is concerned. They are highly materialistic persons, and under extreme cases, they could be responsible for dowry death cases. That's another criminal aspect of the writing. Many times you might have seen people putting that last alphabet down. Down in the sense there are two aspects. When you talk about putting the last alphabet down in a word, I am putting my foot down. So it shows what a person who is non-cooperative, stubborn. We talk about the non-cooperation also comes under this area, the T dash going down. Why should I cooperate? Okay. Many people make G like this. This is G. This is Y. This is O. And this is a T. So the alphabet G made as a 9. The alphabet Y made as a 7 or a 4. The alphabet O made as a 0. The alphabet T made as a plus sign. In short, when the person tries to work on these every day, he is telling the brain to increase his numerical abilities. So he will be doing better in the future as far as maths, physics, accounts is concerned and calculations are concerned. Now I want you to see these gaps. The letters are not connected. They are separate. They are not connected. So when letters are not connected, so basically that reflects a person who has a split personality. When you see the bloating of these, it shows that the person has a vague mentality. The person cannot be relied upon. Also, the person could have exaggeration of things. He would like to exaggerate things. Okay.
So there are a couple of questions which have come up now. Should I ask them?
Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be finishing off with these things.
All right, great.
Yeah. Okay. Now, these are two vague formations of M and W. Now, if you see such kind of vague formations of M and W in any a particular person's writing, you have to be very, very careful because these are sexual pervert people. Okay. The second stroke is very high. Here the person is having fear of rejection. Alphabet O. If it is formed in this fashion, again, this is a person who is a sexual pervert, as well as he could be cruel also. We talk about cruelty is also, we can correlate this with the Nirbhaya case. They can go to that extent. Okay. Currently, everyone is going through a stress level. So we require something on the stress level. Okay. Just make this pattern in green, magenta, and orange color. When you make this pattern, you will be able to come out from the stress. Okay,
Looks
fine.
good.
We can take the questions now.
That looks good. We needed some anti-stress. All right, sir. So one interesting question asked by Palak.
Okay.
Does right and left-handedness make a difference? Because in our Indian culture, parents try to change the dominant hand to the right. How does that affect the handwriting, and can we judge based on that?
Yeah, that will be a minor, what you can say is a minor thing which when we checked out only the slant part, but the formation cannot change. If the formation is the same, it cannot change. Generally, left-handed people write with a left slant.
Okay. All right. Does Srishti has a question? Does the letter I have any resemblance to self?
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
More the, see, if the person is using more of alphabet I in his or capital I. This is also an I. So more the alphabet I formations he is using, he or she is using. And if the size of the I is a bit high compared to the other alphabet, it shows the person wants his or her own identity, which he or she is trying to figure out.
Okay.
And he wants people's respect.
Okay. Something about the letter F, because Jai says that she writes it big every time.
F, this is one way. Okay. Now this basically, when you write this way, it is creative mind. If it is locked like this, then the person is trying to lock himself or herself.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other queries?
Yes, I think Dhwani has a query. Dhwani, I've just unmuted you. Would you like to go ahead and ask the question? Or if you can type it on your chat. I have tried to unmute you. Not happening. So you can just type it in the chat. In the meanwhile, Shruti is asking, the letter G, when left open instead of making a knot.
The letter G. Okay. We talk about the G. You talk about this open.
Okay.
This
open
is what
down.
G.
Yeah, either open down or open on top, whichever ways.
Okay. Now, in this case, the person is allowing himself or herself to accept certain people in his or her life.
Okay. Allowing space.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what happens is here the person is allowing everyone. It's not necessary that there may be people who may emotionally disturb him or her. So the person is not able to distinguish between both of them.
Okay. That's true. So on a related note, Belita wants to know, is there a difference? Is it easy to determine the difference of the handwriting between people who consume drugs and people who are emotionally disturbed? Because they might be slightly
Yeah, when we
similar.
talk about emotionally disturbed, I have shown you the alphabet formation. When we talk about the lower lands, it is vibrations. And when we talk about drugs, it is fill up.
Okay. And some students feel that, some of us, our handwriting changes frequently.
Correct. So when we talk about handwriting changes frequently, if you see your writing, which was few years back, and if you see your writing just now, maybe why it has changed, you have changed your character. Earlier, you might have been too emotional. Today, you are less emotional. So that will be reflected in the writing.
Right. Okay.
And if I make a conscious effort in changing a particular alphabet, again, I'm trying to imbibe that character within myself.
Yes. Correct. Is graphology similar to some of the psychological tests, like where we ask people to draw draw a house, a tree, and a person?
Yeah, that is basically, yeah, definitely. That is doodling, basically. That is doodling. Like suppose a person draws a house. So when a person draws a house, in the sense he wants security from all angles, and he's a home lover, he's a family person. When we talk about drawing a tree, now tree is what basically? A tree has its roots deep down within the earth. So the person is grounded.
Okay.
The person, when he draws a tree, so he can withstand any things, any storm in his life.
Okay, that's how we do it.
And plus, when we talk about a tree gives shade. So he is trying to protect people under him.
So, is there research that backs up the correlation between handwriting and personality?
Research is already there. In fact, the practical research also has been done. I have been doing all these things for the past so many years. I've done till date. I've done more than 2.5 lakh analysis. So each thing is shown in the writing.
Also, we've had some of our students who've done these handwriting courses, and during some of our festivals, they sit trying to analyze handwriting.
Hmm.
So what some of us do is we change our handwriting almost in every paragraph. So
Okay.
is that indicative of anything?
Okay, if you make changes in your paragraphs, but if you see, your formation will not change. The way
Okay.
you form your alphabet, suppose A alphabet is closed,
Hmm.
suppose this is totally closed, or this is open.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it will be the same, irrespective of the size may change, the slant may change, but the formation cannot change.
Okay. Okay. So we think it is different, but for someone who's trained to look at it, they will be able to see whether it is
Definitely,
actually different or
definitely,
same.
definitely.
All right. All right.
Like we talk about forensics also, like I am more
Huh.
into forensic area, like
Correct.
all these banks are using me when they work on
True.
checking duplicate signatures and all these things. Now,
Huh.
a simple example, if a person is making his or her own signature,
Hmm.
if he makes 2 or 3 signatures, it has to be different.
Hmm. Hmm.
It cannot be the same.
Hmm.
If it is same, it's a fraud,
Okay.
because you cannot have the same size, same length, same height. Everything is not possible.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Ritika would like to know, children having ADHD and autism have constant changes in their handwriting, sometimes even changes in their formation.
Correct.
So does that
So
indicate anything?
yeah, that will indicate in the senses their confidence level is down. So first of
Okay.
all, we have to build their confidence level.
Hmm.
Second thing is they generally make a mistake in the alphabet D. They'll write D in the reverse way.
Hmm.
Full. And sometimes they write in the center of the page. They won't use the full page at all.
Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. All right. I think there are lots of questions coming. So, do you want to carry on with something, and then we come back to them, or would you like to take the questions?
I have already finished, so we can start off with the questions. No issues.
Okay. Some people have very clean and neat handwriting. Others are very messy. Does that indicate anything about
Yes, a
personality?
clean and neat handwriting could be that of a criminal also. And a person who is having bad handwriting could be a person who is shabby,
Huh.
who is basically a person who is lethargic,
Huh.
impatient.
Huh.
But the person could be a good person,
Okay. All
not
right.
necessary.
Okay. Could you shed some light on signature analysis?
Signatures basically always see to it that your signature is whatever signatures you're doing, it should be slanting to the right.
Okay.
Second thing is, many times you might have seen people write this and then doing like this. Now, when we talk about this particular aspect, what you were in your house, in your bedroom, you went to the main door. After going to the main door, what have you done? You come back and then try to yourself out. So in short, what has happened? This is called indecisiveness at the last stage.
Okay. Okay. Right. But
And many times you might have seen is people making signatures and then covering up like this.
circle, yeah.
So in short, covering up when the person is trying to hide certain things, he is covering himself up.
Yes, yes. Sir, I was also wondering if you would like to share some information, especially if there are questions about research. Sir is doing some very interesting research about how health conditions can be altered using handwriting change. Would you like to shed some light on that?
Okay. Now, when we talk about health conditions, now these are the upper strokes. Okay. So what I'm doing is, this is a high-powered magnify image.
Okay.
Now in this, the upper strokes, we have to find some gaps over here.
Hmm.
Now, this particular aspect shows a person who is suffering from asthma.
Okay.
Before that, I'd like to explain you. The writing is divided into 3 parts. This represents the upper zone, this represents the lower zone, and this represents the middle zone. This also represents the upper part of your body from head to neck. This represents from neck to navel, and this represents below the navel. So any distortion in these areas, like here, if this is part of what? Neck, head to neck. So
Correct.
as the breathing goes up and down, you'll find those gaps.
Oh.
Okay. Many times you might have seen people making tea like this.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Or I'll like this. So
Right.
here what is happening is you are shifting the tea to the right. Can you see this curve
Yes.
over here?
Yes.
Now this curve is an indication of lower back problem.
Okay. Okay.
And in cancer patients, you will find the writing would be like caterpillar writing. Sharp writings. Oh, another aspect is many times you might have seen people making alphabets and you can see those slight dots.
Hmm.
So these dots which are there,
Hmm.
it's not the problem with the pen.
Hmm.
These are indications of blood clotting.
Okay. Okay. So they'll have to be careful and make sure that there are no dots when they're writing.
Correct.
Okay. Natasha would like to know what is the implication of adding lines and dots below the signatures.
Nothing as such.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, that's just style. Yeah. Uh, Words and sentences that are spaced out as compared to average space. That would that be indicative of something?
Yes, extended space is basically a person who is spendthrift. Also a person who is highly emotionally disturbed. Also the person wants approval from people. He could be an extrovert
Hmm.
or he could be daydreamer also.
So many options. So you have to take it with all other things in it,
Yeah.
taking into account. So there's a myth that people with high IQ write very fast and they have dirty handwriting. Is that true?
Not necessary. Not necessary.
Okay. And people draw symbols in their signatures, heart, flowers,
So when they
smiley.
draw symbols in the signature, if they talk about hearts and all those things. So in short, what is happening is there are two aspects. One thing when they're drawing heart, in the sense they want to show to people, yes, I am so perfect. I am so warm. I'm full of warmth. But it could be the reverse also.
Right. It could be the reverse also.
And
How
remember
do we
one more thing is
differentiate?
signature. And when you talk about full analysis, you have to take the full thing, not the signature alone, because signature is a logo which you have created for the outside world.
Okay. All right. Any information about where students should go to do these courses in handwriting analysis?
I have been taking sessions.
Yes. Yes, sir has been running courses for a very long time. In fact, he's a very esteemed faculty member for our department. We've invited him very often over almost a decade now. And we've known him not just as someone who comes and walks our students through handwriting analysis, but we also know that he's involved with a lot of official documentation and fraud work when it comes to identifying fraud, actually, not just doing fraud. Okay. Is there any significance of people writing their full name in a signature? Some who like to write only initials? Any
See,
significance?
when they write the full name in the signature, is basically they are trying to put a balancing act between the family and the person.
Okay.
And if they are only using the initial as their name and a full surname, so for them family is more important. And if they put their surname, their name first and just the part of the surname, that means they want their own identity.
I remember making a change in my signature when you told me, and I know the changes that have happened since then. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just share. One of the things that my signature earlier used to have was my C used to be very closed. It used
Correct.
to cover the rest of my name. And when Sir was doing one of these workshops and I signed and he said, just one change, close open the C. It was just too big and covering up everything else. And yeah, I did that. And yes, I'm a very different person. And I just remembered it now that it's been almost 10 years since that happened. And yeah, lots of changes have come in my life since then. People have their signature in 2 languages sometimes.
Correct. So when you talk about 2 languages in the senses, there are 2 aspects. People also have a culture, means they have faith in their own culture. That is one thing. Second thing is the writing, making in 2 different signatures, including the vernacular language. So you have to have the information about that language if you have to read that particular signature.
Okay.
Like
So
suppose a simple example is someone is writing in Gujarati. So Gujarati means you have to know what are the alphabets which are there in Gujarati language.
Before you can analyze it.
Or if you talk about Hindi and Marathi is almost the same that way.
And people who like to use only their first name as signatures and nothing else.
So first name and signatures, that they want their own identity. They are least concerned about people.
Natasha says that she can't write the letter N properly. Does that imply anything? I'm not sure why she can't, but apparently she can't.
Which alphabet?
N for Natasha.
N. Okay, maybe she is conscious, highly conscious.
Considering it's the first letter to her name. Yes. Okay. Any more questions coming up, people? So has been given us like a brief or a crash course of handwriting analysis. So anything, since we have only psychology students over here, do you think psychology students let too much of their knowledge of psychology run away during their analysis because they just itna sara psychology padha hai to finding too much of meaning?
It will be a very, very big booster for the psychology students because this will add up to their things. Graphology will definitely add up to the things when they are basically going in for counseling and all those things. So they will be able to understand a lot of things which people don't tell them. So using psychology and understanding the people through handwriting will be an added advantage.
Right. So there are lots of little questions that are coming up. Someone who has neat handwriting. I've changed my G many times. I've changed my M, and some private questions also. There are lots of little things, and I don't think we can cover all of them like that over here.
Maybe they can send it to me on my WhatsApp message.
So would you like to share your contact number, sir, in case people would like to connect with you?
Yeah, my contact number is 767 80 85 086.
767 850.
No, 767 80 85 086.
086. Shivani Lad, you've raised your hand. You could just post your question on the group. Brother is left-handed and trying to learn writing from the right hand, and now there is a drastic change.
Don't force him.
He's doing it on his own, but what about that?
Okay. So there will be change, but if you see the formation will remain the same.
All right. And as we end, there are a lot of people who say that, it's not very reliable. What do you have to say to such people?
I rate myself at 80 to 85%, but I've got a rating of 99% accuracy also. I cannot detect whether the person has written with a left hand or a right hand, the exact sex of a person, whether it's a female writing or a male writing, the exact age of the person. And of course, I'm working on the medical aspect, so that also is there.
Well, what more could you ask for? You can look at the handwriting, know the gender, know the age. And I remember one of my students asking me this. Nobody's asked me this strangely. What if they fall in love with someone and they want to check the reliability of the guy?
I've given the information. They might use that out. We have sexual pervert. We have the person who is basically dowry death and all those things. I've given those things.
Dowry death. But will this guy dump me? He may not be an extreme like a sexual pervert or something, but something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the link, the ideas that you've given can be helpful, and I think sir is getting his calls and he's carrying on with his work also. We should let him do that. Those of you who want to contact sir to do his courses, his number I've posted in the chat box. Please connect with him via WhatsApp, and I'm sure he'll be
They
happy
can
to
just
help.
leave a message, okay, okay, fine, they had attended my session. So I
Yes.
can understand, okay, fine, it's come from them.
Yes. So leave a message that you attended the session here today, and sir will know that you've been part of the audience, and he will connect with you. Okay. Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you to give us so much of your time, as always. And we look forward to many more sessions with you, sir.
Okay,
You
madam.
take care, stay safe,
Fine.
and we will catch up with you soon.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you from all the students also. They've all expressed their thanks, I guess.
Thank
Okay, for the rest of the students, we lost Chirantana Bhatt ma'am's lecture today. I'm trying to see if we can fit her in tomorrow morning by say around 8:15 or so. If that works out, then we can have her session before the most of the other sessions were planned by around 9 o'clock. So if it's possible, I'll try to log her in by 8:15. So I am not sending out the link for the meeting right now. We'll send out the link for the meeting tomorrow morning. Also, tomorrow sessions will also go peacefully because we now have this package, so it will be uninterrupted minutes. Also, Principal Ma'am will be joining us officially. Dr. Rajshri Trivedi will be joining us towards the latter half. The forms will be sent out to you all, the Google Forms. Please do fill it and submit it. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure you're hungry. Please go have lunch, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And thank you to Heenal, Sanskriti, Pearl, and Sonali for all your support. See you guys tomorrow.